Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another Walking Dead discussion, and I am once again joined by the one, the only, Dimzy from Dimzy's Domain. Dimzy, why don't you say hello to all the beautiful people out there?
I'm a walker, I'm half dead, but yes, hello, how are you?
Okay, whatever.
The sound effects are really creepy. I've noticed it's actually, when you're watching at 3 a.m, because that's when it airs a lot of the time, it is very creepy.
It's good though, like, I like it's pretty good, but look, I'm gonna go ham on this video, honestly. Like, The Walking Dead, okay, this is weird. When I first posted, I posted about like a week or so. I don't necessarily know when this is going out. A week or two ago or something about The Walking Dead. Look, guys, this show has picked up the pace in this particular season. At least this half of the season, I really, really loved the, I guess, mid-season premiere for this season. And then, what do they do the very next week? This show is the most inconsistent show I've ever seen in my entire life. Because what they do, they go, oh, that was a really awesome episode. How about we give an entire episode to Eugene? and Negan. Look, I'm not saying that Eugene's a bad character. I'm not saying that Negan's a bad villain. I have kind of talked about that in the past, that Negan, actually Dimzy and I both have talked about in the past.
Yeah, we have.
That Negan is a really awesome villain. But look, this is the thing. Negan is a great villain to build up in one part of the season. In fact, I feel like they haven't necessarily, or they shouldn't have used him as much as they have at this point. He should still be like a cipher. He should be like kind of this shadowy figure in the back where everyone's basically still going, oh, I'm Negan. And maybe we would have seen him to bash like Abraham and Glenn's brains in, and then basically not necessarily seen him up until that point. So he's still like this like demon, like he's just he shows up to kill main characters and then he's gone. But it's just so weird. Oh, and also that would also kind of lead us to the fact that, like, wait, was that really Negan? They all call themselves Negan. Was that really Negan? But no, that's fucking Negan. So what do? They decide to go from the epicness of fighting the garbage can, the garbage heap monster zombie guy, and Rick and co going like, okay, we need to go find guns, and then we need to go find food and stuff for Negan, and we have like these impossible tasks, and we're going to get it done, to, okay, we're with Eugene determining that he's going to be Negan. I don't necessarily understand why they're doing this. I feel like Walking Dead definitely does have a pacing problem. It's absolutely real. It's been this way since season 4. When they
correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't they? When there was a whole fiasco of Glenn initially dying, where he was under the dumpster.
Yeah.
The very next episode was a whole episode on Morgan as well. So
yeah, and look, they know how to fucking kill tension, and it's just so weird considering the level of intensity this show needs in order to stay interesting, that they decide to do these really slow and methodical episodes. I mean, just your thoughts, man. What are your thoughts on this latest episode with Eugene, and what are your thoughts on this season going forward after we saw both the mid-season premiere and this particular season? Do you think that they've learned their lesson, or is this going to be like a continuing trend throughout the entirety of the remainder of the season, and maybe even the next season?
Okay, firstly, regarding the season as a whole thus far, I think that you hit the nail right on the head. It was a very slow burner, and after the mid-season finale as well as the premiere, I thought, okay, they're back with a bang. Yes, this is exactly what I like The Walking Dead for. The tension was there, the action was there, and then this episode, I am not the biggest fan, but I do like it. Yeah, I know you're not the biggest fan, but I do like it because I do like Eugene. I like his facial expressions. I like when he cries. Problem is, they spent too much time, because I believe that it actually ran over the hour-long slot. It was actually an hour and 4 minutes or so.
It did. Actually, this season's had more longer episodes than most of them. Like, obviously, this is the most like jam-packed season. They are really trying to explore this world and expand it in a really big way this season. And, I mean, that's another video for another time, really.
And the thing with The Walking Dead, and I've seen this very evident in this season, and I'm no movie buff, I'm not really, I don't study film. However, I see that they linger on certain shots for longer than what I was I'm normally used to. And when they do it in the same setting, when they were exploring the whole Eugene in the Savior's compound part, it started to drag. The only thing that saved this episode was honestly Eugene's facial expressions, just the way he was interacting with others, which is exactly what he's for. I liked when he lies, but that was not enough to save it. What they should have done was at least dedicate a good 30% of the episode to, once again, at least Rick and the group tackling those tasks of getting the guns, getting this, getting that. And they fell back into this trend of they focus on one thing slowly and then the next thing solely, and it really does hurt it. And as you said, it kills the tension. The worst episode, in my opinion, was the Terra episode. This was them trying to be like, oh, hey guys, I know you guys never liked the Terra episode, so let's try it with a character you guys should care about or somewhat like. And it's better, but it wasn't the best. They done it with Morgan. The Morgan one, I thought that it shouldn't even be part of the season itself. It should be something like a online exclusive, which was between seasons. And that's the thing, a lot of these singular character episodes feel like they could be a little special which you have as a web exclusive as you are showing the episodes, and it doesn't really fit in or feel that it fits the pacing of the season of The Walking Dead. But that's just my thoughts so far. Good episode, it was an okay episode, but not a good episode. But it was better than the crap they did with Terra. But even still, this thing that they're doing is going to hurt them later on, and people are going to lose interest.
No, I mean, everyone's already losing interest. I think that's one of the things. I don't want to necessarily come off. I know I came off pretty strong in the beginning of this episode or this video. I personally think that yes, the last night's episode. I'm not necessarily sure when this is posting, but just so y'all know, the last night's episode was good. It was good. It was better than the Terra episode. It was better than the low points of the beginning of season 7. This whole season is picking up. Negan is still an awesome, pretty intense villain that this show really needs, especially after everything that kind of messed up with the governor. And Eugene being a part of his crew now is somewhat of an interesting concept, especially with how useful Eugene is as a character, considering everything involved. And, just his incredible subservience. I think you were mentioning that, like the parallels between him and Daryl are pretty interesting. I understand that's what they're...
That was actually one of the funniest things when he said, "Who are you?" He didn't really
he's finish. Like, I am Negan. I'm Negan. I'm just Negan. I've always been Negan. I just never knew it. But I feel like that is something that's pretty interesting. But look, The Walking Dead has proven itself, and I think a lot of people have the same thought, is The Walking Dead has a serious pacing problem, and it always has, ever since it started. But at least when we were watching it in the first season, which was probably for a lot of people the best one because it's the one they watched, a lot of people don't like the second season, but I implore anyone who's a fan of this show who hasn't gone back to watch the entire show, go back and binge watch that stuff, especially if we watched it week to week, because it definitely plays out much better in a binge watching format. It's meant to be binge watched. This whole show is meant to be binge watched. It's not meant to be ingested week to week, because waiting a week to get the episodes that we got, like the last one, it, like you said, it kills the tension. It doesn't necessarily advance the story anyway. They have to go back just to explain where everyone's at, where we could have just knowing Negan, knowing Eugene, we could have understood like that's where they were headed. Like that's exactly what was going to happen. Did anyone think that he was going to take Eugene to get him, like to kill him? We all knew he's going to want him to make bullets. Like,
as simple as that.
It was so simple. You didn't need to give it an entire episode when you have all your other characters in so much more interesting positions. Where's Daryl? Where are they with the gun situation? Where's all this stuff? We have to make us wait a week. I don't necessarily understand it. And this show makes such weird decisions sometimes that I just have to... It's a no... To me, it is no surprised that the ratings have fallen this season. They took something that worked really well after the prison got destroyed in season 4, and they decided that that's how they wanted to tell the story of every single season. And this is very much, and always has been, an ensemble cast, an ensemble character type of show. And without giving us that every single episode, you run the risk of doing the same thing that Netflix did with Arrested Development season 4, where people just weren't as enthusiastic about it because they focused on one character for each individual episode, when it was really more about the whole going through the entire journey together.
And here's the thing, especially with the group that we know, where they're completely separated. I know Eugene is part of the group, and yeah, you could focus on him a little bit, but there are characters which I believe that deserve much more spotlight. Even now, even if they've been given spotlight beforehand, group some of them, make them at least into pairs, very similar to Carol and Morgan. So it's just very weird what and who they focus on. Why? I don't care about Negan's wives. I'm sorry, I don't give a crap about them. Just why did they give them the attention? I know it was for the whole point of showing Eugene's thought process, but that's the thing. I agree with you that The Walking Dead is very, very, they probably already done it. They stepped on this mine which is eventually going to kill them, and it's going to take away the audience. And now that's what's going to make them rely on all of these big set pieces. So as with every TV show, that it spikes when something very interesting happens, but The Walking Dead is always going to be known for it. So I don't know, premiere and its finale and everything in between is forgetful, to be honest. That's what it's been so far. It's been forgetful. And that's the danger of The Walking Dead, and hopefully they can turn it around, because they really can. They have everything right there to just turn it around, but let's see.
I agree. There's so many more interesting characters. There's some legitimately good episodes with great characters. The whole Daryl episode, the Carol episode with Ezekiel, Morgan, with Sasha and Maggie. Those episodes were good. They were solid episodes. In fact, this season hasn't been the worst season. It has been the worst season thus far, but not for lack of trying. They've put really good episodes out there. It's just, we feel it as an audience more that we are waiting week to week to watch episodes dealing with one character or another, and not advancing the entire story, but basically focus on where are they now. And look, we dealt with that for an entire half season. It's time to start developing the story, and that's just the biggest problem with this episode, is that they should have let it go forward and not taking us back, because they intentionally took us backwards. And it just feels like we haven't made any progress. And I feel like you're talking with me now. I know I'm not the only fan of this show who feels this way.
Look, I watched the episode. I could watch it live, but I've come to a point now with this season where I just wait sometimes a couple of days to watch the episode. And with this one, I was like, oh yeah, Walking Dead was on, let me check it out. I forgot about the episode. Honestly, that's what's happening. And when I watch the episode, it doesn't convince me to be like, oh, why did you leave it this late? That's the problem. It's not capturing the attention as it did before. And I completely agree with your previous point. This show is a binge watching show. You watch it as you're binging it, and otherwise it's not the best show to watch weekly.
No,
it's really not.
No, it never has been, and it's weird because I've gotten into just such a habit over the last 7 years of watching this show week to week. It's one of the only shows I watch week to week outside of like Dragon Ball Super or anything like that. It's the only shows I watch like literally on television. I record it and I go and I sit down and I watch it because I'm excited to watch it. And I don't know, I will never get out of the habit. I mean, I have a legitimate rule for myself. Like, if you get 4 seasons into a show, a live action show, something like this, watch it till the end. I mean, you're so involved at that point. But yeah,
that's
like
with me and Vampire Diaries.
If they want to go for 12 seasons, then they're gonna have to step up their game, and they're gonna have to get out of this trope of focusing on one character or another. And I feel like one thing, it's story-wise, it's a creative angle for them, but also it's really just them showing their budget. And they show us their budget with all of these episodes that aren't spectacles for us to watch. One of the things that Walking Dead should really do, another video to do later down the line, is they really need to just cut their episode count. There's no reason this show needs to be 16 episodes. In fact, having it being 16 episodes per season only makes it that much more dragging. There's definitely a lot of filler in there, especially something like this last episode. So that's just an idea that they can use going forward, is maybe at a certain point cut their budget, or even keep it the same but cut the number of episodes like in half, or at least 6 episodes down. Do what Game of Thrones is doing. I can't wait to see what Game of Thrones does this next season, where they've cut the episodes down significantly, but they're keeping the budget the exact same. So we're going to actually see that on screen.
Yeah, I think that's just the best way forward, because they need to change up the formula. They've got too comfortable with this little formula that they keep on cycling out. And yeah, with that being said, I just think that The Walking Dead has a lot of change it needs to do. It's good, but to be truly phenomenal, to be truly great, there needs to be some changes implemented.
I completely agree. But anyway, guys, I think we're just going to leave it at that. Make sure to go check out Dimzy. His link will be in the description section below. Makes a lot of really awesome content: Dragon Ball, Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon, all this other stuff. That if you like that other stuff, it's not something we necessarily covered here. But if you like that stuff, please make sure to go check him out, because he will not disappoint you. Anyway, guys, we're going to catch you on the next Walking Dead video, Dragon Ball video, Saw video, box office video, or anything else I really want to make at any given time. So I hope you like that. Anyway, guys, bye.